We started. Okay. Oh my gosh, we started. Okay, guys. All right, guys. So, oh, greetings, everybody. Okay, guys. So, greetings every single person, or greeting every single person, in this live stream section this afternoon. This afternoon already, like, was streaming a bit late. Should have been earlier than this. So, well, that's for that. Okay, guys. So, we're here again. In today's section. So, guys, we're here again in today's section stream. Okay, just as usual, more like our tutorial streams and sections. You get, so that's why we're here again, and we're still here to make another session stream because we stream every day, and a kind of teaching students everything, because as you have always been saying, it's a broad course, so it has many pillars, it has many branches, it has a lot to do with young adults. So that's why we cannot stop saying and we cannot stop teaching, because it's more than I don't know, like, it's very very broad and it shouldn't be overlooked. Do you get? So because this has to do with lives, moreover is students. So students, they say they are the future of tomorrow, so if we are not going to leave them to perish, we're not going to. Yeah, greetings. I'm seeing you. How are you? Greetings. Okay, guys. So, thanks for joining. And we're just starting. You get, so we're just starting. Then we'll get to what we have today. Okay, I'm just doing a bit introduction. I said, okay, this is your graphics, and most of you may be seeing it for the first time. Maybe you'll be like, okay, okay, okay. Thanks very much. Thanks, bro. Thanks. I really appreciate. Thanks. Okay, guys. So let's proceed. Uh, I said, many of you may be listening us for the first time. I'm by name UFGRAPHICS, and more like our objective, yes, or goal. Okay, it's just more like was sent for students, because there is this thing. Okay, it's just more like the body of what we're trying to cover, or what we're making sections on, is titled life after school. And we said, is this body itself is very very broad, that many people are not talking about it, people are not even seeing or thinking that it's necessary. And mind you, school is not teaching this, and this thing in question is silently leading our youth into trouble. It's silently, like, it's not loud, and people are not really seeing it. So I'm using the issue now. This is where the problem lies. Now, when the feel that it's not necessary, when they feel that it doesn't know what talking about, it's still driving them to say it. And that's not even what we're showing. I'm just more like, briefing out or objective. Our objective is just to correct that impression. Our objective is just to guide students on that path, teach them things that they don't know. Moreover, school is not teaching this, and this is more like life skills, because actually they are not going to be in school forever, and it gets to a point they are going to be out. So this is just more like the necessary abilities, the necessary knowledge they need to know, things they need to know, things they should start doing while they're still in school, that will help them navigate to, or that is going to guide them when they're out tomorrow, which is the life that we're talking about, because that is more like that. And all this thing that we're teaching here is more, it can be referred as life skill, because you're probably going to be moving. And okay, it's just like when you graduate from university, or you're moving into another phase of life, which is reality. Now that graduation process is just more like telling the telling the world that you're ready to, like, I don't just know, it's just more like exposing you to another phase of life. So it's just more like stages. And this life is in question. School is not teaching you what is required. Now it's just like when you're in school, you're going to be taught, read your book. School is going to guide you on exam timetable, you're going to issue you a timetable, everything. Do you get? You're going to be reminded, you're going to be guided. But real life is not like that. Nobody is going to tell you that you even need to, because when you start realizing this is when you are out, and you're going to be like, oh, you're not, no timetable to remind you that you have lectures, nobody to tell you that you have to read. So this is life on its own. And when you don't know and understand how it works, you're going to be stuck. And that is why I said it has affected a lot of youth, teenagers and young adults already. So this session stream that we're doing is just more like an urgency one, just to a kind of to reach the remaining students, Nigerian students, young adults, the students that have not been affected already, that are still in university, because they can make possible plans, they can make some possible adjustments to figure things out, and they're not going to be stuck, like they're not going to be victim of it. So that's more like our objective. And thanks for the stream section, everybody joining. I welcome every single person here. So we're more like getting to what we have today. What I just finished saying is just more like objective, what we prioritize most, and what we are a kind of trying to pass. Have you seen it? So that's more like that. And before now, I think yesterday's session stream, maybe for the sake of people that was not there, maybe I should just introduce the topic, then I will show more like them before we get to what we have today mainly. Okay, I think I should just do that. Okay. Yesterday's session stream was something like, okay, social media is distraction, is a distraction, uh like it's distracting students from success. That was this stream, and people were like, how now. So but we try proving the facts actually. And again, inside the section we explain we explain the details that social media is not actually the distraction. The distraction is how people use it. I've seen. So if used well, as we explained there, it can equally create value, like it can equally serve you well, or that's more like positively. And if used wrongly, the other side negatively. Have you seen? So social media is not actually the problem is the usage. The usage is the problem, how you use it. And mind you, you all know that overuse of anything, like this one is not even only social media now. When you overuse anything, it is not always okay. Do you get? So if we're even bringing it here, that is still the same. And we throw more light, and okay, we get example, like we said a lot on it. And okay, part of what we said is, okay, at first in that section we defined the original purpose of social media. And we said the original purpose of social media is just more like to connect people, to get people into like community, to I don't know, just know it's just more like getting to meet people and all of that. Do you get where you can even advertise stuff like that? So that is just more like the origin of social media, why it's created initially. But currently, or let's just see this era generation, like people are misusing it. And misusing it has a lot of backside, which is negatively, and is really affecting. So I'm not saying a lot on it here because is on the section already. That's a previous session before this. So maybe after this session you just watch. If it's interest you just watch. Really elaborated on a lot and really makes sense. Like we scatter and reshape and rebuild the facts why it's really a distraction, and how students should use it, and why like things that they are doing that is making them like that is actually distracting them from it actually. So every all the whole thing was explained there well, so you can equally check on it. So but that's not today's section. I think what we have today, okay, I think it's in our thumbnail. What we have today, let me just check my topic for today's section. Okay guys, what we have today is the brutal truth about graduation. Some people will still be like, how so now? But that's the fact. Like, that's the fact. I'm going to still explain. That's the actual fact. Okay. The brutal truth. The brutal truth about graduation. Now, if we were to scatter and rebuild everything, like if we were to detail it down, I mean to say, if we were to detail it down, what we really mean by the brutal truth about graduation. Okay, at first, okay, the graduation is not okay. Okay, now let me just give a paint a graphical picture. Now, you know those things that people normally do. Uh, Graduating students, I mean final year students, I mean, because this section stream, every sort of doing is just more like young adults graduated still in school. If you're okay, like let's say if you're not married, if you're not yet married, everything we're doing here relates to you, and it has its way of helping you. Do you get that? So as you said, first, the brutal truth about graduation. Now we're going to, at first, we're going to start from the origin. What is graduation? Let's just start from there so that we're going to break it down. Graduation is just more like maybe after duration of years that you studied, and maybe like when you're done, you're going to be issued a certificate. Maybe after that, then you are going to graduate. And the physical, or let's say the practical aspect of the graduation is just more like you guys wearing something like gown and cap. Then maybe after the event or so, you're going to throw your caps or those kind of things, and people going to be like, sign me, I send you, all those kind of grammar, acting. Do you get that? So that's more like graduation activity. And mind you, this is a more intentional institution. This is where you experience small things like this. So at first, that is the graduation in question. Now, if we were to bring it, graduation is not the okay. We were saying here, graduation is not the finish line. Now, mind you, most people are not really understanding what that event really means. Now, that event is just more like starting up, and some students are still confused, like they don't even know what this invention means. They don't even know what they are stepping towards or what they are really going to be facing after that stage of their life. They don't even know what is coming up next. So in this context, we're trying to bring it to student notice that graduation is not the actual I don't just know, it's not the finish line. It's just more like the starting point. Starting point, I mean, in regards, in regards to life. Do you get? So you finishing school or you are, I don't know, graduating doesn't mean that everything is over. That's no. That is the starting point. Is the starting point in the sense of like you're moving into a different phase of life. School is telling reality that reality come, oh, this boy is ready to face you. Reality come, oh, this one has graduated. Have you seen it? So at that point, you're out from school. This is a different phase of life. And he said that that phase of life they were facing, no one is guiding you, no one is telling you things to do, no one. It's just more like an independent stage of one's life. You're going to be making decisions, you're going to uh sort things out by yourself, you're going to make take some risk, undergo some risk, you're going to or get to lose things. I've seen. So this is just a critical stage that student really needs to be guided, like they really need to know, expect it. Now that's because when they are expecting it, when they are anxious and intentional about it, when they know it, like even when they approach such season, even when they approach such time, like the effects, they are going to be more knowledgeable in handling things. That just what's it called? That's just the way out by exposing all these more like secret to them. They are reaching that stage, they are going to be more anxious, intentional, experienced. Have you seen it? Just like when you're expecting something, when that thing comes, like there is awareness in you that you're expecting it than when you're not even expecting. So student is all to all, like we're trying to position their mind to a kind of expectant. They should expect what reality really means outside there, because there is a lot of rejections, there is a lot of failures, there is a lot of backside, like things, your plans are going to be fading and things are going to be turning around. So if you don't have or maybe I don't know, in other way they call it stamina, but in this sense we call it mental and emotional intelligence, because this is actually a skill and is more like inbuilt as well. Like you get to know it comes through knowing, and through knowing you become it. So you got to know it. So that is emotional and mental and emotional intelligence. So it really helps you in knowing, and knowing how, you knowing is going to help you in knowing how to handle that pressure, whatever, or failure in a different way and in a different perspective, like from a different view. Have you seen it? So this is what is necessary to get to know it. So if we're still coming down to what we have to do, with graduation is not the finish line. The moment you graduate, reality begins. Now, the moment you graduate, as you said, graduation is not the ending line. It's just more like life, school telling life, bro, come, this one is ready. Take him, take her, gets to deal with her, gets to deal. So that's just more like what it means. And at that stage of one's life, you're going to experience a lot. Like there's this thing that they say, shock or graduation shock or something, like or life shock after graduation, like life shock after graduation. So that event is just more like, okay, now let's just imagine when you're still in school, maybe your parents are training you, they are sending allowance, people are sponsoring you, you're being funded and being taken care of. Now when you're out, most of those allowances are going to be cut, if not stopping totally. Those caring, those all of those things, have you seen it? So this is more like the first shock, because you're more like an adult, which you cannot deny, which you're becoming. So parents, everybody, everything around is expecting you to or actually figure things out. That is just the reality. That's the first reality that you get to know, that gets like that hits you first. Like that independent lifestyle or whatever, that is the first reality that is going to be facing you. So you ought to know this and make preparations, make plans, make think and get to expect it. So that is it. And you said, okay, you the moment you graduate, reality begins. So this is just more like reality, failure, rejections, and resilience. Like things, there is a lot to withstand after graduation. That's what we are saying in this sense. Okay, again, we said a degree does not guarantee success. We did a full session stream on this, and okay, I don't speak. I for say e get wetin you know the wetin that I don't even know. But let me just what I mean. I said we did a full stream on a degree does not guarantee success, and we were saying what we mean in that sense is for the fact that you went to school, for the fact that you graduated with first class, second class, for the fact that you are a graduate doesn't guarantee success, because even the success in question requires, okay, just more like I call it an outdated mindset, because it's no longer working now. It's just more like how we were trained: go to school, get good grades, get good job, and be successful. That is just more like outdated mindset. Isn't working these days. Like is outdated. Like this is still the reason why you see first class people struggling. I don't know. This is how I talk. I don't really know. Serious. No, not at all. Not at all. All right. Okay. Uh well, thanks for joining this section, and we're actually heading somewhere. So a kind of let's call it a kind of now is possible, yes. That's how we talk. Is it my voice? My voice is normal. Are you serious? This is my cap, of course. This is my cap. Okay. I'm from Nigerian. Okay, guys. Alright, well, nice seeing you. It's good having you here. Are you serious? Hmm. Don't worry, you get used to it. It's with time. Time is process. With time you get used to it. With time you get used to it. With time. I just know. Okay, what's like how people talking like that? How? Like what are they always like? Alright, that's cool. Alright. Thanks for joining anyways. And it's not taken for granted. Okay. So we're actually talking about something, the body of the matter, or let's just say the pillar of what we're talking about in life after school. So we're making a lot of topics already on it, and today's session is part of it. So thanks for joining, and maybe you join us on our stream and get to learn, because we're actually inculcating knowledge. We're trying to open. I just know some people's eyes are open already, but just more like an eye opening. We're still going to open their eyes more, not in any way putting fear. So that's for that. So let's just proceed. Okay, okay, okay. I have my book here. Let's just continue. Of course, I have plenty. I have plenty. Do you know any? Do you know any of them? No, I doubt. You don't. I doubt. I doubt. No, 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 no. You don't. I'm doubting. Okay. So if we're proceeding, okay. So let's just proceed then. Okay, I said a degree does not guarantee success. I was emphasizing on that before I was carried away with the shots. Okay, guys, so let's detail it down. What we mean by a degree does not guarantee success. What we really mean by that is, now as I said earlier, that many people feel that for the initial fact that they went to school, for the initial fact that they are a graduate, is just more like a room, just more like a short bed in this place. They call it short bed. It sounds or feel, or they even feel that it's short bed for them to be successful. And I was trying to correct an impression which says that go to school, and I said this is more like, yes, I like everything, I like everything. What you want to give me was that, hmm, how are you going to get it to me now? How are you going to throw it? It's not possible now. Okay. Yes, yes. How? Okay. Maybe I should continue. Alright. Let's just proceed. I was saying something on, oh Jesus, I was saying something on a degree does not to success. Actually, what that was what I was saying. I said, for the fact that you went to school, for the fact that you're attending a uni, is not a sure bet. There is that saying that go to school, make good grades, and get good work, and you're a successful person, it's a no-no, because the world is more like getting to digitalize. The world is being digitalized, and a lot is changing, a lot is causing a lot to change, a lot is really changing now. When you still have that old mindset, when you're still acting upon it, when you're still living like that with that consciousness, you're going to be in trouble as a youth, as a young adult in this current era. It's going to lead you into caterpillar, like you're going to enter into trouble with that. So that's it, and that's more like an outdated mindset, and we're trying to make students get this now. Life is moving more, or let's just say the world, everything is changing now. You're more like told, or you're more like advised to get more of practical skills. Now, even practical skills, we mean even in your discipline, your several disciplines in your several career, you're more like going to practicalize some things. What I mean, it's just more like, or let's just assume that you're studying an accounting, and mind you, school is very, very good in theory and in preparing for your exam and inculcating knowledge. It's more of theoretical, or more of theory oriented, so less of practical. And maybe is how them were trained or whatever, or they lack the necessary skills or equipment that you can effectively use to teach that particular stuff, maybe skillfully or in skill area. So when the role, or let's say when they continue with that, let's say when they get used to it, or let's just say when they ride on it totally without actually passing the practical aspect of that particular knowledge to students, they are going to be stuck in their several career in one way or the other. Now imagine someone that studied accounting, maybe through his core aspects and pass, write the exams and all of those. So he or she lacks the knowledge to actually do creep out, or let's just say outline business. He or she lacks the knowledge to initiate and even start up a business. He or she cannot even communicate effectively in the matter of the business. I've seen it. So this is just more like where our students are really lacking. They are really lacking in this aspect, and this is what real life requires. This is what real life wants, and a lot of youths are lacking this skill. They are lacking this ability. This is, and is said to be a kind of value. Real life doesn't reward certificates now. It's more like value. Now just imagine you with your B certificate and you cannot actually create value. It's not making sense. It's not actually making any sense, and it's not even moving anything. Have you seen it? So this is why is the emphasis of learning skill, the emphasis of getting acquainted and getting being competent in things around, or being competent in everything related to your particular discipline or even career, is very, very necessary, because it gets to a point you ought to practicalize. Is that stage is not certificate. Do you get that? That at that point in time you ought to drop your certificate. So what is really going to make sense, or what you're actually going to work at like get out with, it's just more like your practical skills, what you know, inbuilt stuff, like what you can really create, how you can solve a problem, what you can really offer. So that is just the point. And at that stage you don't need to start learning it then, because it's more like it's late, and you're ought to, or you're expected to even know it before then. So this is just more like the skills we're really talking about. And we said many graduates have, okay, just like many graduates, most of them have first class, lack all these necessary skills, they lack all this, they're not even competent in any way, they are just there with the B certificate. And this is still why you see most graduates suffering, being underpaid, looking stuck out there. And you're wondering, doesn't you're wondering, you thought that, oh, certificate is the utmost. Moreover, this is the reality, and this is why they are still being stuck, because most of them lack this knowledge. Nobody is telling them that this thing is more like outdated mindset. This thing is no longer working now. You ought to change your perspective. You ought to live in a different view and see things in a different way. I've seen this too. They just lacked, oh, all this necessary knowledge, and it's even called common knowledge, because, and the painful part, nobody is saying it, and nature is even expecting them just to know it. And being that it's not always possible to, like, it's not always possible for them to just know all these things without being taught. Do you get? So that is it. And we said employers need, now mind you, students have certificates, big ones, without skills. Meanwhile, employers, organizations need problem solving employees. Or actually, he said you don't buy product, you buy solution. Now if any organization is employee, based on your offer, what you're really going to offer, what you really amount to, the kind of value that you're going to create, that is that it's what drives them. That is what we must still motivate them to be paying you. Have you seen it? So this, the employers need problem solving employees, or creative employees, people that can withstand pressure, people that has communication skill, because you're going to actually be communicating with their clients or business partners during the process. And when you lack what they call communication skill, is actually a skill, and is mostly required in real life. So if you lack this skill, you're going to be in trouble. It's going to work effectively well on that part or track. So that's that. And what again here, school teach all subjects but not life skill. But that's just the fact. School teach subjects. Now imagine you entering into a university. Before this of, like, you have choosing, or like you have assigned, you have that discipline. Do you get that? So that particular discipline is actually what school is going to be teaching you, because we're saying school teach subjects but not life skill. It's not their fault actually. They were structured to guide you on your discipline or your area of concentration, or what your career is saying. Do you get that? So actually they're going to teach you on that part. So you're not even expecting school to start telling you or start teaching you or how money works, how to build business, how to start up a business, how to get life skills, how to be competent. You're not even expecting that from school, because initially that is not what is structured. Like, that's not how it's structured, and that is not what even that is not how, and since is expected to dish out to you. So school teach discipline. It just teach you how to pass your exam, how to get good grades, how to be competent in maybe the area of your discipline. But moreover, there is nothing like life skill, and this life, and it's really what helps you navigate to in outside. So that's for that. And we were saying again, most students most students leave school without learning. Now, without learning skill, we mean most students leave school without learning. Uh, okay, sorry, learning any digital skill, any new language, any, like, they just leave school. Was saying is most students leave school without learning skill. Now this is I don't know, there is this full section stream we did where, like, certificate alone is not enough. People were like, as out now, but that's just the fact, because we try proving the fact actually, because It's not really enough. I be serious. I serious right now. Hmm. Okay, it's fine. Thanks for joining anyways. Really regard the fact you joined. Thanks for joining. It's not taken for granted. Join us on the stream. Let's proceed. Okay, we'll say something. We said many students graduate. Sorry, okay, I mean students. Most students leave school without learning life skill. And I was being like giving an illustration. There is this session stream we did something like certificates. Okay, the decision we did more like certificate alone is not enough because it's driving students into sin, it's driving them like they are being stuck. Now let me prove that. What I mean there is most of them when they depend on the certificate alone, when they just hold totally without having any plan B, having no second option, having no business on ground. No, Jesus Christ, I was the one that said it like that. Yes, I said it like that. Don't worry about the title or whatever. I set it like that. I purposely did that. I created the confusion. It's actually a confusion. It's curious. Like I actually did like that. So is it bad or some is it bad? Bad. If it's bad, then tell me how to structure it so then I will learn now. First, I will learn. Okay. No, I'll just proceed. I was actually saying something, but anyways, thanks for joining the section stream. Okay, I was saying something. Okay, okay, okay. No problem, no problem, no problem. That's okay. Hmm. Oh God, that big. Okay, it's fine. All right, that's okay. I was saying something. I was saying something. I said, "Oh, let me proceed. Let me proceed." We still have who's stuff here, like who's topic. A lot of things to touch because of our young adult. We are prioritizing our young adults. We're prioritizing our young youths. Still in school from school. We prioritize their what's it called? Their becoming, their outcome is our utmost priority. So I'm not shaking anything. What's that? I was shaking my. I was just trying to. You get. I was just trying to relate. Do you get? So it's fine anyways. It's fine. So I was just saying something. Maybe I should just continue. Okay. I was saying something. Okay, so I should continue. Alright. Make I continue. Okay. Our language will be like make I continue. Alright, let me make I continue. Let's just proceed. I mean to say. Okay. So I was saying something about okay, school. Sorry guys. Okay, most students leave school without learning. Oh, I'm doing something like I'm teaching like this, and I'm sweating. Like that's why I'm sweating. Actually, I'm teaching. I'm stretching my throat. I'm stretching my brain, sweating. So that's it. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Doesn't mean anything. Anything for our students. Anything. Just anything for our students. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. No, nah, no, nah, no, nah. Don't go dance. I cannot dance. No, no. Okay, see, deal, deal. Okay, okay. I'll dance next section stream. That stream all because we're streaming every day, but not now. Cause I'm in the mood. Do you get? Just try and relate. I'm begging now. I'm just begging. Just try and relate. Okay, accepted. Just try and relate. Okay. Just try and relate. I don't know. Just relate with me. Like I'm stressed already. And see, okay, see, oh, next stream or next stream tomorrow, remind me. I'll definitely do that. But not now. I'm not in the mood. They kind of you get so that's it. So I just hope you understand. Okay, okay. So maybe I should just proceed. Should I proceed? Should I proceed? Okay, let me just proceed. Okay, I was saying something. She have accepted, so I should proceed. Okay. Why now? It's not fair now. It's not making sense now. It's not making sense. So should I apologize? Like, should I apologize? What will I do? Just dance. I cannot just dance. Do you get? And I can only reschedule it. I can only reschedule it. And that's why I said tomorrow. Promise tomorrow. It kind of I will definitely do that. But no, now I'm sweating. Pity me now. Like I'm sweating. See my feet. I'm sweating. But I'm being serious. Next section stream, I will do that. You get? Okay. So, all right. I think I should proceed. Okay. Okay, guys. So you've accepted. You don't. God. How am I sure? Like I'm not sure. How am I sure? How will I trust you? Like how will I trust you? You want me to trust you? How? I should just trust you like that. Just like that. Okay, see. Okay. Let's make a deal. Okay. I'll do that once I'm done in this section stream. Which platform will chat me up? Check me on any social media platform. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, UF graphics. Then get to chat me. I will dance and send you the video. Do you get? Like I cannot just dance here. Do you get? I will just do that and send you. Do you get? So maybe any of the section what's it called social media platform. I mean, if you check us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, UF graphics, you see us. Then we'll get to talk with her. Maybe we then make the deals there. Do you get? So here is just more like tutorial section. Like dancing is not part of the section now. Do you get? Sure. I think you just try and release. It's not part of this section. Okay, this section is just more like tutorials. You get? So I just hope you get. All right, so let me proceed. Let me proceed. I have a lot here. I have a lot. I just understand. Like maybe you just reach out to me on any of the social media. Then we'll get to. I'll send you the dancing this thing there. Oh, this was like just understand. Like just get it. I cannot just dance. No, it's not possible. Now that just that just is like I'm not in the mood. There's no song. Then can you sing any for me to dance? Which oh Jesus. The fact is that I don't even know how to dance. That's the fact. Let me not lie. Being serious, I cannot dance. I don't have any dancing step, dancing skill or anything. So serious. I cannot dance. I can only act. Do you get? So that's for that. Okay. But I just hope you understand. I just hope you understand. So let me proceed. Let me proceed. I'm giving you a thumbs up. I'm the one giving you a thumbs up now, but I just hope you understand too. Like so that it will not be burning my heart. I just hope you understand. I just hope you relate. Alright, give me a thumbs up. Let me clarify my I don't just know. Let me just be comfortable. Give me a thumbs up. Let me just be comfortable. Like let me just know that you've accepted. Are you serious? Okay, nah, it's well. It's fine. Okay, I was saying something. I said school teach subjects but not life skill. Life skill is requisite. It's very very important that student gets to learn. You know it's going to really help them in navigating life after school is going to help them in trying to actually get something done, because like real life, we said, is a skill. Real life requires skill to really navigate. So real life requires competency. Like you're actually going to be knowledgeable to actually deliver value, and it's said to, like, you're actually going to deliver value. Do you get? So if you don't, if you cannot deliver value, you cannot really solve a problem. Like you're left out. So that, and we don't want our young people, young adults, out graduated, still in school, NYC students, to be stuck or anything that looks like that. But for them to just be aware, know all of this, and start acting upon it, so they are not going to be stuck. So we still have more. Okay, many students graduate without direction. Asa una, like some people will still be like asa, but that's the fact. Many students graduate. Now this is where you still see some graduated students, they are going to be like, what am I still going to study? Like most of them are going to just be stuck. Maybe after graduation, they are going to be like, why did I even study this course? Now, they have so many factors, some things that really cause all of this. Now, part of it is that most of them studied what they studied, or most of them choose a particular career because of the were pressure to, maybe from parents, maybe from guidance, maybe from any related guidance. Now, most of them, they feel or they think that maybe most of them, their friends, or I don't just know, choose it for them, or they feel that there is money. Have you seen? So a lot can cause people in choosing a wrong career, and it's going to lead them to, what's it called, like they're not going to be directed, like they're going not going to be, they're not going to be have direction. So that's what we're saying. Many students graduate without direction. Now what's direction even in sense, like if we were to say direction is just you knowing actual, like just like someone that is studying a particular discipline. So yeah, it's just like you choosing a particular career. You know where you're going to end, you know where that thing is going to lead you to, you know what you're going to be doing in like in it. Do you get? So that's just more like direction. Is you know actually you know your destination you're going to be heading, you know your destination where you're actually heading to through that course or that career that you're choosing. So it's just more like direction. So, and we said most students still graduate see feeling stuck, not having any direction, not having where they are going. So this is as a result of parents, maybe they were compared to, or they were suggested. I just do, but it's just not okay for young adults. So we said okay, the job market is extremely competitive. Like the job market is extremely competitive. What we mean by the job market, from the name, the job, mind you, if we're saying the job market is extremely competitive. Now this is just in the result, or let's just say it's just like in this current era we have a lot of graduated students. Now imagine maybe in 20 in a year, 1,000 graduates, 10,000, what's it called, okay, just imagine in a year where we have 10,000 graduate, like 10,000 students graduated in a year within a specific period of time, maybe duration of a year. And this 10,000 students, maybe what the country really has is 500, what's it called, employment pool, or like space to be employed. Now do you imagine, like, how is your remaining going to be, like, how what's the effect? And mind you, if all of those students are people that don't have anything doing, don't have any skill, just that certificate, they are really going to be stuck. So this is just the facts. And if we're trying to paint the picture we're trying to bring here, which is okay, we said the job market is extremely competitive. Now it's just like when they have a pool of 500 and 20,000 employees. Yeah, 20,000 employees. Like employees now, people that wants the work are now applied to for the work. Now that is where the competitive enters. Mind you, they are beyond the number of people that is requested for the work. Now what employers are going to start, what's it called, checking the extra skills. This is more like extra qualifications. Now this is what distinguish a first class person from a first class person. Actually all of them had the same degree, or what's it called, height or rate. Like the same degree or qualification, has the same qualification, but what really distinguish them or separate each, or even making one getting and one not getting, is actually the skill. Most times is experience, most times is practical skill, you knowing, and you most times it's communication skill. So these are just necessary skills that the real world requires, and that is what, or sometimes, or let's say most times, that's what even guarantee employment to people, because it's always competitive in I don't know, it's always coming out competitive, like always not being easy. So that's for that. And okay, graduation, okay, graduates who has, okay, some now graduates who has all those skills are mostly going to be employed, mostly going to feast showing those gaps. We have graduation shock is real. Some realities include, now graduation shock is real. When you graduate, you're going to most, it's very very real and very very shocking as well, because most students are, they are going to start seeing what they didn't even expect. Just like when you were in school, you thought that life had not started, you live lavishly, you spent everything you have, no income stream, no income, like no business on ground, no support system, nothing, nothing. Now you just lived just like that, and you graduated with nothing. When you're out, maybe few years, you have been rejected from work and all of those stuff, and you're going to be stuck. Now how are you going to live, how are you going to survive? Have you seen? So this actually is a shock, and most of them gets out to, or let's say gets out to reality, and being surprised, because since is changing, most of them are going to be like, this is not what we really expect. That's why we're doing this section, because it's not always what they are really expecting or what they always expected. Do you get? So this is just more like exposing, or let's say reaching them quick. I don't just now put that, but that's just it, because it's more like urgency stream. Most of them don't know this, and they really need to know it before getting out. Now it has an advantage. It's going to prevent it. It's going to make them think beyond, from, or even cities, more than average student is seeing it. It's going to make them live in a, it's going to just shape their path. So this is why it's important they get to learn. Need, like they just get to start acting upon it now. I mean, so it's very very necessary they get to that. So we said the system reward value, not certificate. Now what we mean is just nature, or not nature, sorry, or real reward value, not certificate. People are buying solution, not really a product. If your product cannot solve a solution, there is no need of me buying it. If you cannot offer value, if you cannot develop my organization to the next level, there is no need of me employing you. So the the emphasis of value cannot be overemphasized, because that's what real world requires. Now the school requires certificates, like they are more like that, but real life that you're going to spend your entire life in requires value. Now this is why you really need to have value, like value, I mean solve a problem, deliver, like work things out, resolve things. Like this is just more like skills, and is mainly inbuilt. So it's just more like what you really have inside. This one is out. Certificate, we're not speaking about certificate in this sense. Now is inbuilt. What can you give out, what can you get done? Do you get? So that's just more like that view. And we said that's what real world requires, not necessarily certificates. Again, some, okay, we said some graduates become successful faster than others. As how now? Still as how now? But that's true. Some graduates become successful. Both of them are graduate now. Why do you be like, or let's just say, have you not seen people? Okay, like, let's use two classmates, for instance, two classmates that graduated the same year, maybe with the same degree as well, or the same qualification, but one happened to sort of succeed faster than the other. Now maybe the difference is very very common. Maybe the person that succeeded, okay, now let's just imagine a student A has, a student A made a first class this thing, a first class result or grades. Now by guessing that he or she lacks every other knowledge, skill, no skill, zero everything. Now the student B made second class, or let's just say an average result or average grade, and he or she built connection when he was still in school, built internship, gets to network with people, that's getting to do with things with people, and build connections, all of those stuff, have clients, he started business, and you get so even with second class or whatever, or even an average qualification, if in real life for me, who is going to succeed faster? Obviously it's student B, because there is a lot of structures already, there is a lot of plan, but student A just with only left with the B certificate. So I've seen why it's necessary. Even with your certificate, this is still why you see first class people suffering. That's why we said it's not just the optimus. Now it's just funny. I overheard someone say, "Oh, education is no longer the key. They have changed the key." Or let's just say, the value is the optimal skill or the master key. So that's just more like that. Now this is just more like outdated mindset I mentioned earlier, and when students get this into their head, it's going to make them think in a different way. It's going to make them consider doing things. It's going to just expose them, or broaden their knowledge, what they are really are. And it's even said that school is more like a training ground, and students need to get this to their mind, because a lot of them is feeling that it's a stage for relaxation, is a place to waste away while away time, is a place to enjoy life, and maybe it's a place for relaxation. That's just the impression, and that's what they have in their mind. And from that view, them living their life way, or let them believing that it has this thing, like it has its way, it just guide them in a particular way, even burn them into something. They're just going to still see it from that view, and it has a lot of things that is going to prevent them from doing. So university is more like a training ground where you can equally start anything. There is still or a kind of outline procedures or pattern to actually do, so it's not going to affect your academic. So it's just more like you're not going to prioritize one more than one. So both of them is just going to be more like equal. Have you seen it? So you're not going to be left with no skill, you're not going to be left with no grade. So that's the emphasis, and it's really going to help. Okay, we have a game here which is, what's that? Okay, we have a game here which is so okay. Now it's just more like examples. I think you're more like rounding up. Okay guys, so it's just more like example. Graduate becomes successful faster, because and again, most people started small income streams while they were still in school. So when they graduated, maybe most of them expound it, most of them has to broaden it, get other things attached to it. Most of them build brands, most of them get to learn skills, valuable skills, monetize skills that was able to, or that is able to be paying them. Have you seen it? So this is just more like most graduates succeed more than the other, or why most graduates succeed or even become successful more than other people. Most of them that are successful more than others are people that got this knowledge. I don't know, maybe through nature or whatever, or as well someone taught them, but it's just more like people that made some things, laid some foundations, started off some things. So that's more like that. And we are saying again, okay, this is just more like an example. Now we say the high GPA graduate. Now it's just more like example to this whole thing that I was talking about. The high GPA graduate, this is just more like GPA. That's called, that's number of things that determines whether you're getting first class or second class. So it's called CGPA. Now what we're saying here is okay, we said the high GPA students. Now a student that got a very high GPA, made first class, but lack skill, lack everything. Moreover, you still have another student that made an average score or average grade, still succeeding more than the first class. So it's not really making sense that you made the first class and you lack the necessary skills that life requires. So it's still go your ways to be stuck. So that's it. We have the skillful students. Now these are students that started off skills. Now skills, we mean they have skill, or what you call physical skill, or be services. Like skills has different areas. So but the emphasis there is skill. Have you seen? So this is skillful students, people that get to learn a skill, maybe during their school days or school time, they get to be utilizing their time, or they were actually yielding out to, maybe after lectures, to a particular skill, to a particular knowledge. Do you get? So maybe they started gaining even when they are still in school, they started using it and getting money for themselves. So this is as well the skillful students. Maybe during university or they got to get something doing. Do you get that? So before graduation, most of them before graduation, they are well standardized. They are built more structure. Like they are a kind of structured. Do you get? So they are not more like starting from scratch. They are not more like starting from any no nowhere. So they have built more like track records. They have clients already, they have business partners already. So this is more like skillful students. They get all these things started while they were still in school. So they are more like the graduation period is also going to be like a lot more like launch pad for them instead of shocking. So it's going to be maybe the stage of launching, those kind of things. You get? So that's more like that before graduation. Okay, the waiting graduate. Now this is just more like students, undergraduate students that feel that life have not started for them. Most of them feel that if I get out from school, I'll start a business. Now most of them in real life they are being like, had it been I started this business then, had it been I started this skill, have you seen? So this is just more like the waiting student, people that still feel that time is still on their by themselves, like time is on their side, they have the whole time in the world. Now this is the waiting students, they are always stuck. Now the process of waiting is going to, that delaying is leading them into saying like it's not always okay. Now the waiting students is not always successful because they don't even feel or think they're necessary to start up something or anything. So all their intention, all their mind, everything in them is just like waiting, not yet time. So this is actually wrong, and probably they're not going to start up anything. So they are feeling like maybe I'm going to be successful maybe after graduation or maybe after NYC. So have you seen it? So more like waiting mindset. So it's not always okay. Okay, message for students. Now message for students is just more like, okay, message for students is just more like them knowing that certificate is not the utmost. Certificate is important, it's very okay, it's very necessary, but that's not where the resources lies. It's said to be skill plus experience plus skill is create opportunity. Like certificate plus experience plus skill is create opportunity. If you're really going to be successful, if you're really going to be valued, if you're really going to mount to something, like you're actually going to be practically like you're really going to be I don't just know, but it's beyond certificate alone. That's just my emphasis and my view. It's just beyond certificate alone, and more like strong advice for students. Now this is just like things that students should always know or start doing even before they get out. They should just learn skills, they should get to learn business, they should just get to start up small, they should just get to build up brands, they should just get to get some soft skills doing. I've seen it. So there is a lot to or get to doing before getting out from university. So this is just more like advice to them, and it's really going to help them in navigating well in the matter of life. It's going to make them see things from a different view, and even the effects or the backside of life or reality is not going to hit them really hard, because they are more like anxious, intentional, and already expecting it, knowing that it's an inevitable stuff that is always coming, that will surely come. I've seen. So that knowing has this strong, or that knowing make them confident, like it creates this strong feeling in them. So that's for that. And oh, we already exhausted the section stream. I think that's the last stuff we really have here. We've really exhausted the section stream. So uh thanks guys for really joining, and of course I really appreciate the fact that you guys joined. We all just finished session stream. We just exhausted our topics we have here. So we're more like caring also. So if you're here and you have gotten anything or really communicated sense in any way, maybe just try giving us a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, maybe just do that, and or maybe just get to follow us in maybe in all any of our social media handle, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So UF graphics, and maybe we just get to grow together. And thanks for the fact that you joined, and not in any way take it for granted. Really regard that. Okay, guys. So at the point in time moment, or we're going offline. We'll see you tomorrow from 1 p.m. downwards, or we are streaming tomorrow, so we stream every day on this YouTube platform. And really regard the fact that you join. It's not taken for granted, not in any way. Okay, guys. So that's for that, and thanks for really joining the stream. Thanks for joining the section. Guys, to our practical, like everything was staying here because it's really going to help you navigate it. It's going to really shape your path, perspective. Guys to practicalize and guys to put them in work. So that's for that, and thanks for joining anyways. And